Mad, bad, and lazy morning. Stakecito Labs is proud to announce that we have acquired two amazing mad scientists, one beautiful lazy Celestine sloth, plus two amazing bad kids. And with that, we're embracing airdrop season and Cosmos season at the same time, while also having a beautiful lineup of PFPs for our team. And with Stakecito, we're not only running a validator, but in fact, we're ripping it, ranked 12 with 100 unique delegators, over 330K in delegations. And this thing just went live. If you have STRK tokens, you can stake them for 21.3% APR. Currently, only 2.69% are staked from 15,500 delegators. But it's good to be in the top 12 here. We're very proud of that. And to be honest, for being a Cosmos native validator, to also have strong support on other ecosystems, right? We're also running a validator on Celo, on Near, also on Eigenlayer, which is also kind of in the process of being rolled out, also on Bitcoin with Babylon. So yeah, much appreciate every one of your delegations. And we are now at the point of the cycle again, where we are doing spreadsheets in order to optimize our portfolios. And I walked you through this spreadsheet that I updated here last week. And today I also want to talk a little bit more about how to actually invest in Cosmos, how to have proper exposure to Cosmos, because I see a lot of people are doing it wrong, and also a lot of YouTubers are telling you wrong information, but we're going to talk about this later. First off, happy Thanksgiving as well. It is Thanksgiving in, I guess, Canada and the US, and these are the Bitcoin prices during Thanksgiving. We went through a lot. 2022 was the most brutal one, I guess, and we are still in the waiting room for 100K BTC, and this man is doing everything he can to push it over the finish line. And I think we're at the verge of seeing big companies announcing that they have been stacking BTC. And yesterday, for example, we also saw this $5,000 Bitcoin pump where it went from literally like 90,500 or something to 95K within a very short amount of time. So something is happening and someone big is bidding, max bidding on Bitcoin. Now, we also see progress finally on MetaMask, which is the OG crypto wallet, of course, that has lost a lot of its market share to Phantom, I guess. But now they are integrating and focusing more on US customers and integrated Venmo. So users in the US can now buy crypto on MetaMask using Venmo, which is a big win to improve the onboarding rails. Also, Chinese company SOS plans to purchase up to $50 million worth of Bitcoin. We talked a lot about smaller nations getting into crypto and buying Bitcoin for their treasury. El Salvador obviously leading the pack here. But now we're also seeing the global race for crypto and stacking sats is on. The US is getting warmed up. China is now catching up. I think China, to be honest, like they have been secretly buying over the years. I just think they're kind of not very public about it. But yeah, overall, macro looks very good, very healthy, very positive. I think we're all ready for a nice holiday season pump across the board, not only Bitcoin, 100K, but also for altcoins and also for Cosmos. And I think we're at the verge also of Cosmos season. Obviously, I have extreme high conviction in Cosmos. I'm a proud cosmonaut. I'm very bullish on Cosmos, on the technology, the philosophy, the vibes, the ideology, on everything. I'm very bullish. I think altcoin season is going to make Cosmos great again, because a lot of people, obviously, they think Cosmos is not doing well if Atom is not doing well. But that's also why I want to make this video, because if you're investing in Atom only and you think you're invested in Cosmos, you're not doing it right. You're simply not doing it right. But we'll get into that. Anyways, everything slightly up, slightly down. TIA, a little bit of an outperformer, up 8% again. $8.77. Everything else slightly in the reds. dYdX, another outperformer, up 8% roughly. And also Axelar, also up 8.5%. The top gainer is Loom Network, but to be honest, there's nothing going on there. Onome Nom, which is going through a full kind of relaunch and rebranding and repositioning. I think they also had some internals going on, but yeah, definitely something I'm also keeping an eye on. And I have conversations with Lalo here and there on Telegram. So we'll also see if there's news to share. And then, yeah, Axelar, Celestia, dYdX, the top gainers. The top loser actually is Iris Network, which is the Cosmos of China. And for some reason, they just got delisted from Binance. Maybe just super low volumes, but definitely not good to get delisted right when the bull market starts. So I don't know what's going on there. Minus 19%. Bitsong, not sure what's going on there at this point. Secret Network, cooling off a little bit, but still 58 cents. Sentinel, DVPM, minus 5%. But those two also in the privacy sector, and especially Sentinel in the DVPN sector, also I think an application that has strong product market fit, been around forever, one of the earliest adopters of Cosmos. Also interesting to see that they're still here and could also be an interesting bet on this whole privacy season that's probably imminent, as I talked to you about in yesterday's video. Anyways, the big game changer for liquidity on perps trading is the introduction of MegaVault. We talked a lot about it over the past weeks. We're actually about to also formally announce a partnership here with Cryptocito, CitoZone, and dYdX, so stay tuned for that. But MegaVault is a game changer in liquidity provision, and they're now leveling it up. So the yield that is coming from MegaVault right now is through the strategies deployed by the MegaVault itself. MegaVault is basically a USDC liquidity bucket that gets then used to create a market-neutral environment on dYdX and also generates yield with that. Not always, but that's kind of the goal. But now they're also running some numbers on how MegaVault could also be generating other yield, right? So a 20% yield in USDC could be considered attractive, yes, of course. And I know what you think right now, 20% yield on a stablecoin sounds familiar, and your alarm bells are ringing right now, because yes, there's also what Anchor promised on UST. The difference here, though, is that the yield actually comes from the product revenue share. And now they're running the number here. For example, the MegaVault would actually receive 50% of protocol fees, which last year were around 40 million USD. This is how strong of a product market fit dYdX actually has. It's one of the most used. Actually, it's the market leader, the leader for the perps trading category in total, right? On a bad day, they have $500 million in trade volume. On a good day, they have around $1 billion or even more than that in daily trade volume. So this is just where these fees are coming from, and they will be shared with MegaVault. So that would have accounted for $20 million in yield last year, right? Based on last year's numbers. Now imagine if there's more trade activity, more liquidity, those numbers could actually go up. And I think this is just an on-chain business model for depositors, USDC depositors. Obviously, it's not entirely risk-free, right? You have to be aware of the risks as well. But dYdX is aggressively building these liquidity business models around MegaVault, but also for their trading and the affiliate program, which I'm very proud that we're also not only a VIP affiliate for, but actually we are ranked second on the leaderboard. We are ranked second right now. This is the Cito crew, and truly appreciate everyone who is trading here with the referral link. You can find in the video description on the top. You get big discounts on trading fees, and we'll also earn a commission on the fees that are generated. Anyways, that's dYdX. In my personal opinion, also one of the biggest sleepers. You can also see it here on the price chart. I think dYdX, even at $1.60, still severely undervalued. And the thing is, if you go now on CoinGecko and you look at what was the all-time high, you will think, oh, 452, that's nothing, right? That's peanuts. But then you look at the old dYdX token, the ETH dYdX, because remember, it was on Ethereum for a very, very long time. And this thing was at $28. So the actual all-time high is $28, not $4, right? Just FYI. But I guess a lot of new people are just looking at those numbers. Are like, not that interesting. But those who know, they know. Anyways, moving on, Hydro, which is a product on the Cosmos Hub that is also around liquidity. So Hydro is basically Atom Wars, a business model and a way for Atom liquidity to be deployed in a bidding auction process through to all DeFi applications in Cosmos, right? And this is interesting two ways, or basically three ways. Number one, obviously, because DeFi protocols have now a very fair way to gain liquidity for their applications from the Atom community, basically, right? Number two, it also opens up new ways to generate yield for Atom stakers, Atom liquid stakers. And number three, also, this is strengthening the role of Atom as interchain capital or interchain money, however you want to call it. And maybe as a bonus, there's also a new snapshot. It's also a new avenue for airdrops to the Atom community. And I know a lot of you are losing faith in the airdrop meta. They're losing faith. They're giving up, right? But as I always say, now we're entering TGE season, token generation events. We're entering launch season, where literally all these chains and tokens that have been in the works for the past year, but it didn't launch because of the market environment. The market sentiment was just really, really bad. Now they're launching, which also means we are entering airdrop season again. There's always going to be airdrop season because there's always going to be new tokens. And airdrops are just user onboarding strategies in the beginning, right? There's currently 8 live bids. The tributes were raised, which basically are the incentives to voters that are causing this APR. And the average APR accounts for roughly 11% right now, on top of the 15% staking APR, because in order to vote on Hydro, you have to basically tokenize your staked Atom. So you basically have to use one of the liquid staking providers, which means you're natively accruing staking rewards, which is actually more than 15% right now because the bonded ratio has gone down even further. So it's actually around 17 or 18% right now, even probably more than that, plus 11%. So you're actually earning close to 30% in yield right now if you got into the round one on Hydro, right? This is how it looks like. You can see also the live bids, what's the current vote outcome, right? Shade Protocol is leading right now, 25%. Then Neptune Finance, 10%. Nolos, 9%. Phoenix, which is kind of, I guess, a team that took over the Terra blockchain and wants to kind of revive it for their Atom LST liquidity pools on Astroport and Terra. Then we have Whitewell, Demex, and Margent. So those are the current. Oh, and then also Drop Protocol, right, which is a liquid staking protocol on Neutron. So yeah, you have these rewards in denominated in their own tokens. So in the SHD token and the NLS token, and Drop is incentivizing with their droplet points specifically for Hydro depositors, right? This is how it works. There are 7 days left for round one, and I think these tributes might also increase as we get closer to the ending of those voting rounds. But definitely interesting to see. And now you can also see a new airdrop tab that was added here, which is probably early alpha. I know at least 2 snapshots, maybe even 3 snapshots have been taken for Hydro depositors. So this airdrops tab, definitely something to watch out for. And also for round 2, which I guess is going to come shortly after round 1 ends. So probably first or second week of December, we're going to see the round 2, which is going to raise the caps, because right now the caps are filled with 20,000 atoms. So, and in that context, it might also be that the mass unbonding that I talked about is also a reason is also because people are unbonding the atom in order to get into Hydro. That could also be one of the theses. At the same time, we also have very positive developments happening around the Cosmos Hub and Atom, not only on the product development side of things and kind of the 2025 game plan, but also Shade Protocol not only bidding on Hydro, but also Shade Protocol literally coming out saying they're the Michael Saylor of Atom, and Shade DAO has accrued roughly 7,300 ST Atom, which is around 88,000 USD right now, and they want to acquire more than $1 million worth of Atom. I don't know what time frame, but yeah, this is what they want, right? And this is their POL, protocol owned liquidity. They're betting big time on ST Atom and the Cosmos Hub ecosystem. And I know Carter obviously is a big proponent, also has been part of the Atom Accelerator DAO, and is just a big Atom spokesperson, gave the opening speech at Cosmos about the Cosmos Hub, and I think one of the best voices and faces also for the Cosmos Hub. Next, also some news from ASI, Fetch, or now known as the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, introducing an earn and burn initiative for the ASI Alliance. Because basically right now you have to think about every time somebody joins this alliance that already has a live token, it means that Fetch is basically, or the ASI is buying their token. And in exchange, they're obviously minting new tokens. They're minting new FET tokens. But in order to kind of also combat the hyperinflation of the FET token, they're now introducing a earn and burn model that would also decrease and cause the FET token to be more deflationary. Next, we also have some news from one of the upcoming roll-up frameworks called Initia. Initia actually did a fireside chat or a panel, I think it was in April this year at Token 2049 here in Dubai, with Zon, the founder of Initia, talking about kind of, Cosmos and the app chain thesis, all these kind of things. And he's obviously very, very bullish that kind of Initia is the final puzzle piece for Cosmos. And it might be from a tech architectural point of view. But what I would love to see first is this thing in production for 4 years on the market with the live token, full redistribution of their own token, airdrop, building the community, and then still be kind of hyper relevant 4 years from now, right? And that counts for all the new chains that are coming up, Monad, Barachain, even Nillion, right? All these chains that are about to hit the market, they have to kind of prove themselves first for 3-4 years. And then I think it's fair to kind of compare and see, was this actually the final puzzle piece, right? Because one thing that OG coins, Dino coins like Crypto Twitter and Crypto YouTube calls them, what they have over the new ones is skin in the game, time in production, full rotation and redistribution of their own token and their own teams, right? Still very, very excited for Initia. I think there's going to be definitely a big launch. Hopefully also a decent airdrop. We've been covering Initia since early days of the testnet. I hope you all leveled up your Jenny. You played around in the testnet, so you all get your airdrops. Also, one of the flagship applications on Initia is going to be Milky Way. I'm not invested, by the way, in Initia. I am invested, though, into Milky Way. And I'm also about to announce Cito Ventures, by the way, so watch out for that. And there I'm just sharing all my investments, some of the key investments I've done over the past years that I always also mentioned here in the channel, but formalizing that a bit more. But Milky Way, a liquid staking provider that now turned into a restaking portal, basically, and initially launched on Osmosis, but now they are fully aligned with Initia, and they're going to migrate to Initia once Initia is on mainnet. And they just shared this kind of final stretch post here where they're saying that originally they wanted to launch and have their TGE in first half of 2024, but then they delayed it. Milky Way apparently is going to be fully operational once their token drops, which is going to be very, very soon. Remember, there's also this points system right now. So if you hold Milky, then you're getting points for Milk tokens eventually. And this is going to be the restaking platform for the interchain, which eventually also Ethos wanted to become, but I think Ethos does not really exist anymore. Unless you know more, please tell me. But I think Ethos is out of the race. So Milky Way well positioned to capture the restaking market in Cosmos, and they're also launching a variety of assets, Milk in it as well once that goes live, and also synergizing, it seems, with Drop and also with Stride. Another coin that has been around for a long time and is the OG Cosmos coin there is, alongside Atom and some others, is of course Osmosis Osmo, and volumes and trading activities picking up. You can see in the TI USDC pool that only has 350K in liquidity, but over $3 million in trading volume yesterday alone. And this is because their supercharged, aka concentrated liquidity pools, are incredibly capital efficient. So Osmosis Insights also, by the way, a new account they created where they're just sharing these kind of stats, insights, and some numbers. Also, Osmosis reached a new milestone, 300 million transactions to date, which is also good. We talked about their trading volume, $37 billion, huge milestone achievement also the other day. Osmosis still sleeping, not really didn't really wake up yet, but I think it's going to do that sooner or later. Also, and I guess latest, they will wake up once Polaris launches. We also have this alpha here from John, who is one of the contributors at Osmosis, and he's been hacking this together, where they have this kind of AI chat feature. And finally, Stargaze Updates. We always cover the Stargaze news and hot NFT collections on Stargaze. There's going to be a Black Friday week with Moonbase Dracula, a 73% discount that is available for a limited time. So you can get your Moonbase Dracula. I minted some, but also I pointed out, I think back then when I first mentioned them, that I think it has a 10K supply. So it's quite a big collection. And Sloth, for example, only have 2,500. Bad Kids also have 10,000, but they were kind of the first ones, right? And then also we have the Drama Queens entering the Tier 2 whitelist today at 7 p.m. UTC, and then tomorrow is the public mint, also 7 p.m. UTC. Now, I want to wrap the video up, and as I shared in the last video, we will be distributing this spreadsheet, in the next newsletter. So subscribe to our Cito Zone newsletter right here, and you'll get exclusive alpha here and also access to this spreadsheet. So if you want to properly invest in Cosmos, you say, okay, I'm bullish on IBC, I'm bullish on the Cosmos architecture, I'm just bullish on this whole idea of interoperability and sovereignty, right? That's what Cosmos is all about in the end of the day. If that is a given, and you say, okay, I want to build up my Cosmos portfolio, then you have to think in verticals, and you can't think in like, okay, I'm just buying Atom and I'm buying whatever, TIA, and that's it, right? You have to think in verticals. And if you look into those different verticals, by that I mean narratives, then you pick your 3, 4, maybe 5 verticals where you say, I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in, let's say, gaming, for example, as being the consumer application that is going to take crypto to the next level, right? Or in tokenization and RWAs, or AI, right? Or DeFi, a big DeFi renaissance now that Trump is getting into office, or more infrastructure related stuff, right? Like rollups, for example. So pick your vertical. Number 1, select your vertical. Number 2, pick your 2 or 3 contenders in that field, right? Because the thing is also like each of these verticals has various contenders, right? For example, on the RWA field, you now have Mantra, that is actually leading that entire vertical right now. But then I mean, it's the biggest market cap coin in that category, in the RWA category. But you might also want to have higher risk assets that potentially have higher returns, right? And that is what Mantra was a year ago, right? Mantra was a huge high risk asset when it was at 2 or 3 cents. Now it's at $3.50. So now it's well established, well funded. Everyone knows it. It's listed everywhere. Insane trading volumes. Has a strong product market fit, these huge tokenization projects, all these kind of things, right? But what is going to be another strong contender in that RWA field, right? And that's where you stumble upon something like Corium, right? That is also developed by the team that has built Sologenic, a DEX platform on the XRP ledger. And they're also closely aligned with the XRP community and Ripple, right? So then you also might think about, okay, what about kind of RWA infrastructure, right? And that's where you bump into coins like, for example, Axelar, right? Axelar is the interoperability gateway, but is also maybe applicable to RWAs and actually have a partnership with Mantra. Then you might say, okay, I'm more bullish on AI, right? So, and then you look into AI and you say, okay, AI agents, I'm going to place my bet on the market leader in that field, which is Fetch, the ASI. But then also I'm bullish on GPUs and this kind of compute platforms, right? That's where you have to look into AKT, EOS, right? Those are the top contenders there. So I hope you get the point, right? This is really what you have to look into. And then it goes to IPs, it goes into abstraction, it goes to liquid staking, even storage, right? We have Chacal here. So it goes into all of that. DVPN, like I said, for privacy, NFTs, you're bullish on NFTs, get stars tokens, get your bad kits, get your mad scientists, get your Celestine sloth, and that's it, right? Metaverse, you have Passage, and you have some more that are coming up. Saga, obviously, also in the gaming/metaverse field. So this is all that how you have to think about Cosmos, right? I really want you to think like this about investing in Cosmos, right? It's not about just holding one or two coins. It's about picking your vertical, selecting your top 2 or 3 contenders, maybe the market leader, and then 2 or 3 higher risk assets that are maybe lower on the list in terms of market cap, but might have higher upside potential and higher returns in this bull run. Anyways, that's all for today. This sheet is coming in the next newsletter. I hope you enjoyed the video. You check out Hydro, you check out dYdX, MegaVaults, you trade here with the link in the top video description. Much, much appreciated. Trade with caution though. Don't over leverage. Don't put your entire life savings into this. And I'll see you guys very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.